In this episode, we make a cocktail using this glass that the cocktail was served in the 1950s. And at the base of that glass was a built-in coaster. And to top it off, it's just a simple interpretation of one of the classic rum cocktails. But the story around it is compelling. Let's go. Aloha and welcome back to Spike's Breezeway Cocktail Hour. This is one of those episodes that I've dreaded to do. Not because I don't want to do it. I'm very excited about this recipe, this cocktail, the history behind it. I just don't want to get it wrong. That's the whole thing. One of my friends in internet land, Gregory Scott, is an avid viewer of the show, and he collects the vintage glassware just like we do. And he goes, "Hey dude, I found 3 Derby daiquiri glasses. Want one?" And I was like, "Want one? What? Yes, I absolutely do." Now, if you look at the vintage Mai Kai menus, you can see there's like a daiquiri glass with a little dude. But what's the story of the dude? We'll get into that. We'll get into that. I wouldn't know nearly as much about the story of this cocktail if it wasn't for Tim Swanky Glasner and his book, Mai Kai, The History of the Iconic Restaurant. If you can find this, it is an invaluable purchase. It's great. And the research that he's done on things like this cocktail are just like so invaluable. The other major source for information on this cocktail came to us from Tiki Central. Gregory Scott actually pulled a lot of the information from the archives of Tiki Central. Tiki Central was the place on the internet in like the early 2000s all the way till today, where we would share all of our recent findings about the history of Tiki and really piece it all together. Sven did a great job at the very beginning, laying the groundwork, and then concurrently adding to that with his different books. But Tiki Central was a gathering place for us to put the puzzle pieces together. So it was rad. It was important in the whole Tiki resurgence. But right now, we're talking about this little dude right here and the Derby daiquiri. In the 1950s, the Gulfstream Derby took a cue from the Kentucky Derby and had their own libation created. Of course, the Kentucky Derby had the mint julep. The Gulfstream Derby was looking for something that was emblematic of Florida. The task fell upon the shoulders of Lance Picot, a talented associate of Rums of Puerto Rico. He also happened to be the assistant manager of a place called the Mai Kai. He challenged the bar manager, Mariano Licudine, the Houdini of liquids, to come along and create something that was emblematic, to create a beverage that showcased the essence of Florida. Of course, that means fresh fruit juices, and being so close to Cuba, that means rum. The culmination of Mariano's ingenuity materialized with the Derby daiquiri, a creation that clinched victory in a contest, earning the prestigious title of the Drink of the Derby. And just like the Mai Kai, to come up with a special way to serve a cocktail, they came up with this glass, a masterpiece carving by Kui Lee. Everybody wanted the cocktail that was served in the glass with the little dude. There was press all over the place about this drink. Esquire magazine in 1959 had an article. It turned Mariano into a bona fide celebrity. A concerted push by Rums of Puerto Rico catalyzed this recipe in bartending manuals across the nation. The Florida Gulfstream Derby, albeit smaller than the neighboring Kentucky Derby, accommodated 20,000 attendees, of which drank 30,000 Derby daiquiris during the event. That's incredible. Lance Picot was so excited about this cocktail, he utilized Mariano in all of the advertising, giving him rightful credit for this cocktail. Just an incredible story. The festivities of the Derby included a dazzling performance by the Mai Kai Islander Review, especially named Race, honoring the Rums of Puerto Rico, and a prized sterling silver daiquiri glass awarded to the victor. The Mai Kai's race furnished a whole barrel of rum to the winner. There is plenty more to the story, and I would urge you to buy this book to read the rest of it. But if there's something to take away from this, it is that the Mai Kai never goes halfway on anything, including furnishing incredible cocktail glassware. So for this cocktail, we'll be using limes, oranges, simple syrup, and standing in for the Rums of Puerto Rico, Hamilton White Stash. Let's get to making this drink. I'm so excited to try it. We are looking for a ½ ounce of lime juice. Okay, so here's the deal. We're gonna be blending this thing. Like blending, not mixing, blending. So, ½ ounce into this guy. 1 ounce of orange juice. Then ½ ounce of simple syrup. Ever since I read this recipe, I have been dying to try this. And then 1.5 ounces of rum. Okay, now it says to fill with a handful of ice. So we'll just call that 1 scoop. The idea is to blend this into a smooth consistency. Now, from what I understand, the early daiquiris at El Floridita in Cuba were actually blended like this. They weren't strained, like double strained, super fine, elegant cocktails. Well, they're elegant. They were served in daiquiri glasses, but they had some slushiness to them. So, now you just want to pulse blend that thing to whip it up. This cocktail has so many interesting stories about it. We almost skipped over, in my opinion, the most interesting. There was a coaster that would slip onto the glass, like here. Then they would staple this edge right here, and they would serve it to you with the little dude surrounded by this Mai Kai coaster. And all that I can imagine is they were thinking this is a great way to advertise the Derby daiquiri and give it credit to the Mai Kai with this built-in coaster. Isn't that incredible? And I love it because it's got the Cannibal Trio there. Let me pull this off again real quick. If you're not familiar with the Cannibal Trio, it's this dude here chomping on the little guy. There's like you can't see him, but he's behind the AI there. Cannibal dude chomping on the little guy. He catches him, chomps him, and then he's full. It's hard to tell with this thing, but it's a thing. Let's pour the Derby daiquiri in there. Dude, we need to be able to staple that. Okay, I don't have a stapler, but I have some double-sided tape. So let's just stick that there. Dude, look at that. Okay, see? It's like we're at the Mai Kai right now. Let's get to the drink. Kind of slushy. You can see the steam pouring off of it. Steam? Something. Condensation. Look at that gorgeous presentation. Man, it's moments like this that I just get chills for the cocktails that we've been able to make on this show with elaborate garnishes and incredible presentations. Folks, if you've enjoyed this, please be sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Join the Patreon. If you join the Patreon, I will send you this enamel pin and you'll get first opportunity to buy merch before it goes on sale to the general public because it always sells out. And you'll help keep this thing alive so we can do more cocktails just like this. Okay, let's taste this thing. Ah! Jared, don't put that in. It's a teetery little bastard, dude. It's a lot of drink on a tiny little dude. And so, from the 1950s at the Mai Kai in Fort Lauderdale for the Gulfstream Derby by Mariano Licudine, this is the Derby Daiquiri. Wow. I mean, it tastes like a daiquiri with a hint of orange juice. I'm getting a lot of ice chips. I wonder if we should have put more ice in there. But if we put more ice in there, it may have gotten smoother, but it also would have built the drink more. And this is just about perfect. So this seems like the proportions are correct. I think it's supposed to be more of a smoothie. I don't know. We'll have to confer with Hurricane Hayward, see what he thinks about this presentation. Oh no. Well, I made a couple of these little cards, so. It's really good. I can see how you would get a sense of Florida from this. They're so well known for their citrus, especially oranges, like Florida orange juice. It's a very bright cocktail. It's a brighter daiquiri than you're kind of used to. I think the orange really brightens it up. I think the orange really brings something to it that daiquiris aren't necessarily missing, but it's a nice change. I hate the ice chips. Totally hate the ice chips. I wonder if it's supposed to be smooth. I think it's supposed to be smooth. The ice chips just feel like somebody didn't double strain this thing. Like somebody shook it and then didn't double strain it. Okay, dude. This is a soggy mess because I spilled on it. Of course, this episode is sponsored by Tiki Farm. Tiki Farm are the producers of just incredible home tiki barware, tiki mugs, tiki ceramic things like chimeneas. Is that how you say it? I don't know how to say that. In fact, they have a couple of shag chimeneas left. And Holden never tells me what to say on these little ad reads. I'm just kind of talking about Tiki Farm because I am honestly passionate about the brand. As always, I'm just so humbled that they would want to support this show. So do us a favor and show them some support back. They have incredible mugs. And if you bought a mug at a restaurant or a bar, chances are it's a Tiki Farm mug. bright and refreshing. Sunny. That's how I feel like this cocktail tastes. Okay, our buddy Hurricane Hayward has some mixing notes. Since its origins that date back to the rums of Puerto Rico cocktail contest, the Mai Kai always use a Puerto Rican rum such as Don Q and the Derby Daiquiri. But do yourself a favor and try it with Havana Club if you have access to it. The fine Cuban rub adds more finely crafted taste and exotic quality to the classic. But more recently, he said try it with Hamilton White Stash. So that's what I did. It's great. Hurricane Hayward is also saying that it was created by Mariano Licudine in 1958. Oh, for a time, the Derby Daiquiri was served with a Spanish comb ice shell. It also had its own custom jockey glass to commemorate its association with the Florida Derby. The glass is extremely rare, but occasionally pops up on eBay. Bonus bilge, ask for a double blended Derby, and you'll get a less icy, smoother daiquiri. The intense blending also somehow gives the drink a hint of vanilla flavor. Vanilla flavor? I could see that. But it also might be one of those things where people suggest something and you go, oh yeah, dude, I totally write with my left hand all the time. You're like, what? No, you don't. Is that a good example? Not really. Okay, so on the menu in the past, it has been seamed with an ice cone, like an ice shell. And I could see the reason why they would do that in this glass, because this glass has a really nice rounded bottom to it. It doesn't go down and stop and then turn a corner. When you're pushing the ice down to create the ice shell, it'll fold up very nicely. So maybe we'll do that and add a clip of it right here. Okay, now the reason I want to do this again is because I sincerely want to try it a little more blended. Okay. 1 ounce. And 1.5 ounces of this. Okay, we're gonna do this with more ice and longer blending session. We did 1 scoop last time. Let's do 2 scoops? 2 scoops. Okay, 15 seconds. Ooh, I like the condensation. Okay, that's much smoother, but you can still see the ice in it. Killer. Okay, I just remade it, blended it longer. Let's try it out. It is much better with a longer blend. I'm still getting ice chunk though. I don't know if there's a way to escape that ice chunk thing, but it's a great cocktail. Now I've had 2 of these things. It's delicious. I can see how this thing blew up all over Florida, all over the world. Maybe not the world, but the continental United States. Yeah. I just wonder if it's supposed to be smoother than this. I don't think so, because we tried it both ways. We even added more ice. And when you do that, you know, it lengthens out the cocktail. Now there's more drink because, oh no, because of all the water. That's the second one of these little Mai Kai things that I've destroyed. And I made it, so it's not like I'm destroying a vintage one. And these are super hard to find. I have to hold this drink with 2 hands. It's unwieldy. I don't like cocktails that you have to chew, but I do love this drink.